All right, guys. So, spirit hacking. Welcome back to the channel. This is Primal Sutra. I am Uncle Makara. All relations. Google the Makara into Wikipedia. See what that is. That's gonna give you some understanding. Number one, you got to understand this is your unique spiritual path. Okay. Now, as Primal Sutra, we understand that we are going to the source itself. Okay. We are going to the source itself to get our information. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I need to have it on the YouTube video in order for me to get the knowledge. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for you to not get this knowledge from a book, but to go to God or source itself to obtain spiritual information. One of the easiest ways you can do this is through something that we practice. We practice something called natural grounding, but also understanding using mantras, using mudras. All of these are hacks. Okay. It's like you have that spiritual boundless energy within, but with these, it becomes like a spiritual antenna, right? And so if you're able to, let's say, hold this mudra, now you do it for a few minutes, you're just getting a little bit of the downloads, right? But now, if you're understanding, I'm using it as a tool, right? So today I'm also going to be talking about a very sacred text called Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, okay? It is originally a conversation between Shiva and Parvati about meditative lessons or prompts, 112 meditation prompts to be precise. We're going to be going through some of them here in this video today. So I have a couple that I wanted to speak on in my mind that just came up in regards to spirit hacking. Okay. So let's get started, man. If you have any questions beforehand, let me know. A lot of people in the longevity communities, the people who want to be ageless, right? A lot of them look at, I want to live longer for longevity's sake, but it isn't just that longevity that you're seeking. You're actually seeking divinity. You see what I'm saying? So this is a belief according to yoga. Uh, Yoginath Siddhanath, if you ever have heard of him. Yogi Raj Siddhanath, my bad. If you ever heard of him, talks about this. Okay, we have a fixed number of breaths according to our karmic destiny. Okay, so you might have like 5 million breaths, 6 million breaths, whatever, right? But conscious death is samadhi. So you have this breath debt because of people who practice, let's say, breath work, or they go through the process of this practicing, let's say, Kriya Yoga or any of these practices, you have this breath debt, and then this life is there to help you cross the gates of death and continue with your own. Okay, man, we have a heat wave here, guys, in Kolkata, so it's mad hot. Okay, um, yeah, everybody is just like scorching in this heat. It's absolutely tremendous. You can look up in the news in Kolkata. There's other states in West Bengal. I mean, West Bengal is a state. There are other states in India that are also going through something similar. And also shout out to, uh, I believe there was some kind of a hurricane or something in North Bengal. But yeah, conscious breath is samadhi, right? So going beyond the space-time continuum, you're becoming faster than the speed of light, right? You're going back to the future. You're becoming Marty McFly, right? You're going through the process where you're going beyond the space-time construct, right? Because Shiva is called Mahakal, which means going beyond time. He's the grand timekeeper. So he's beyond time. He's beyond space, right? And I mean, Vishnu beyond space, and Shiva's beyond time. So understand this. Okay, so God is breathing through you, but also lengthening your breath will help you overcome actual physical death. Okay, this is what the yogis believe. A guru basically shares their prana with you. They share their life force with you. So this is through a shaktipat or through a guru's teachings, you might get more resonance or energy. So you're borrowing their resonance or vibration. You're borrowing their extra life force that they have, more breath, in order for you to crush it. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you guys get this. So your prana, let's say it's over for this life. A yogi can extend their life because when they practice Kriya Yoga, he's lengthening each breath, and now he has a backlog, right? And his karma is burnt super fast, but the life still remains. The breath, right? Maybe they have 21,000 breaths in a day. They have some now extra breaths, right? And this is how they can ward off death, but this is also how they're traveling into those unseen realms, into those deep states of stillness, right? So I want to actually start with this chant that Vigyan Bhairava Tantra talks about. Of course, this is a translation from the Sanskrit, so, but it's something along these lines, okay? I'm very familiar with the Nath yogis, like Shiva was called Adinath, but all my grandfathers, right, all had Nath in their name, Shaktinath, Pratinath, you know, Dotinath, as you guys can see, right? This little thing I got from my great grandfather. He was passed on to me, this ring. But all connected through the Nath lineage, right? So Nath, I'm familiar, let's just say with that. Okay, Sumi Nath, Makara Nath. Let's go. So in Tantra, you're not forcing your will to show up. You're becoming aware of the present container. You're basically merging by letting go or surrender, right? Through devotion. You can either have left tantra, right tantra, gray tantra, right? Similar to magic or any other practices, right? You have one side, another side, in between side, middle path, right? So between this is how the actual stanza starts with this technique. Shiva telling Parvati, his partner, his consort, his other side, you could say. Okay, the master to this disciple. Okay, it goes like this: between each inhale and exhale. So let's say you're taking an inhale. There's a pause. Exhale. That little pause. It's said that in this tantric text that such a is a universal pause where one small self vanishes, he says, right? Shiva says. And then Shakti will reveal herself. When the breath doesn't move in or out, enlightenment emerges. You guys get that? So when you first you start out being very conscious of the inhale, exhale. Then as you're deep in the meditation, you forget, you surrender. And this is when the gyan, the spiritual knowledge emerges, right? The master has the wisdom after the playfulness of a child comes out, that freedom. So, even in the Western context, in terms of Christian Gnosticism, or even looking at archangels and so forth, like Archangel Michael represents fire, Archangel Gabriel represents water, right? Like they're the two eternal witnesses of the angels. So have you guys ever noticed that there's studies on this too, that men with partners tend to live longer than single men? I think because there is this graceful fusing of Shiva Shakti, that the life force is being used by each other like a battery pack, more breaths. Okay. So the secret to spiritual is the breath, is through the breath, through the consciousness of the breath, to visualize energy like sunlight, they say in the text, moving from the base to the crown. So you're basically pondering this electric-like energy that's ascending through your chakra points. Okay. Now I want to really speak about this chant because I think this is really an invocation of Shiva, I believe. Okay. Which is basically you saying, eternal, omnipresent, without support, master of all. That's it. Just keep continuously chanting this each and every day. Eternal, omnipresent, without support, master of all. Eternal, omnipresent, without support, master of all. Eternal, omnipresent, which means it's all presence, all around us, right? So without support, it doesn't have support from an outside source. It is the source, right? Master of all, right? So it has no hierarchy above it. It is the master of all masters, okay? The Lord of all lords, the King of all kings. This is it, right? This is what we're tapping into when we're saying this. So these meditative prompts, these 112, I mean, these are tantric prompts. I mean, in that text, there's very little about, intimacy and tantra in terms of connecting with the partner, of course. We can talk about that, but start to understand that, why is it that they tell you to reflect on the Sanskrit vowels? As we saw that the vowel sounds change your toroidal field around. We talked about this, right? So they're first as characters, vowels, first as characters, then as sounds, and then finally the outermost layer, which is the deep sensations from the humming. Is one that they recommend in this, right? The breath of Om is not just O-M. You see, it's A-U-M. Okay? It's Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. It is that, right? Beginning, middle, and end. So it's not just Om, it's Ow. You guys get the difference, right? One, you're doing it from a Western standpoint. You're just like, Om. It's not hitting. You can try it like that, but the actual syllables of the AUM, and this is also something that I've referenced back to inner engineering from Sadhguru, and they teach you this practice the right way. So when you're saying Om, you want it to be the sounds AUM. So there's a AU that has a different accessing of your crown's energy, okay? So you're directing your breath energy to the top of your mouth and then guiding it between the space of your eyebrows. This is another technique. Another very interesting technique was, if you guys notice here, we got the peacock feathers, man. Shout out Jay Krishna, also Jay Sanat Kumara. These are both beings that I work with. Shout out Skanda, who also taps into this energy. Shout out Kamadeva, you know what I'm saying? Even though he has more of the parrot concept of his Vahana, his vehicle. But yeah, man, the peacock feathers. So in this book, they talk about this very profound technique, man, where you're visualizing the 5 different hues of a peacock feather, representing the emptiness of the senses. So on the external world is this very pretty understanding of this peacock feather, right? Let's take it out. Let's show you guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So imagine this is like your 5 senses. Isn't that a cool visualization? And each of these represents the emptiness of the senses, but it's still beautiful. You see, it's still decorative. There is something being done with this technique. Some of you are overlooking this technique. You're saying, oh, just visualize a peacock feather. Okay, 5 so what, right? You're not seeing the deeper layer of it. All of these have a deeper layer. And I really want you to look at this text and reflect on it. So again, the name is Vigyan Okay, some of you Westerners might not be able to find it, but I mean, you will be able to find it, just not pronounce it, I guess. So let me spell it out for you so you can write it down real quick. Okay, so Vigyan, Vigyan, Bhairava. Okay, Bhairava and Bhairavi. Okay, this is this understanding. Bhairava. So Bhai, Bhairava. Okay, then Tantra, Tantra. Okay, so this is how you find the book first. Let's work with it so we can go through it like this. Okay, so what were we talking about? I'm talking about one of the techniques, which was the peacock feather, right? Very easy techniques, simple techniques, but very profound. Okay, can you chant the letter without additional sounds? They say. Okay, extra sounds that come out of that, like a instead of a right? So can you consciously be able to visualize your body being consumed by a fire that's starting in your right foot, right? And it's slowly you're visualizing that, right? And you're visualizing your skin as just an external barrier. There's nothing substantial really inside. You're just hollow. You're just empty inside, right? So you're visualizing your body is entirely hollow. Then you're reflecting on the emptiness of the central spinal channel too, right? All of these techniques, they're making you more meditative. They're moving the energy within you, your kundalini, in a very specific way, right? They say with your eyes shut, you got to direct your focus to inside of your head, right? So when you close your eyes, you can then allow the energy to fuse into the brain, the internal world. You focus on the hollowness of the skull, okay, and the brain. That's going to do something to your crown's energy too, okay? So there's a lot of these techniques, but we just need to learn how to use them, right? How to know what to do with them. I'm just going to look through a couple more of these. Actually, let's share the screen. Let's do that. I'm just finding it. This one is from this website I'm using right now. If you want to find it, it is level.game blog/Lord Shiva's 112 meditation techniques. Okay, I highly, these are very, what would I say, bullet point. We're spiritual hackers in this game, right? So we're looking through it very quickly, but obviously do your own research if you want to, dive deep into this and do your own understandings with this, by all means, okay? So let's see some of these cool ones. Let's see which ones point out to me. Oh yeah, emptiness of above and below, right? As above, so below. The void above, below, and within your heart. I like this one, man. Tune into the silent sound, continuous like a flowing river. Imagine the silence is like a flowing river. Wow. That already, I have a water path working, and this already is amazing. Imagine you have a top knot, right? And all the energy is flowing to that hair bun. Okay. That's cool. I used to have long hair, so could do it back then. Maybe I'll grow it out. I don't know. Okay. Let's see some other ones. Focus on the space inside an object, ignoring its boundaries. Mm. This is teaching you emptiness of just objects, right? You take an object, right? Ruler. Okay. You take an object, you see the emptiness of the object. Okay. You don't see it as the actual object. You see that this was first fused by a piece of metal, right? That to put carvings on it, that to do things to create this ruler, right? It didn't just emerge, but you're also looking at just the atoms inside it vibrating, right? You're not looking at it just like a ruler anymore. You're actually reflecting. You're contemplating. These are deep meditate, like ponder on your inner self. That's such a easy one to understand and read, but it's difficult to do, right? It's difficult to actually go through the process and discover what your inner self is. So, these little more directional techniques like visualize the universe as an empty expanse, recognize the interval between two thoughts. You have one thought and another thought. There's a space between those two thoughts. Focus on that. When one thought ends, prevent the mind from jumping into another thought. So this is how you gain mastery over your thought control, therefore your actions and your behaviors. So therefore you have a control of your personality through these exercises. You guys are seeing this, right? Am I the only one who's looking at it like this? Hello? Hello? As Sadhguru would say. Am I talking to a wall? Visualize the universe and body filled with joy. Wow. You guys have heard of the Taoist inner smile, right? Where all your organs are smiling. That reminds me of that. But just visualizing the universe and body is filled with joy. Okay. Imagine it's not blood flowing through you, it's just pure joy. Okay. Beautiful. These are beautiful. During intimacy, immerse in the pleasure and peak of the joy. So, revel in the orgasm, revel in that and savor that moment, right? Between two lovers. Focus on the sensation between the expansion and contraction of a nerve cluster near the base. And that's your Muladhara root support, I'm thinking, near the base. There's usually some tension down there, I've noticed, for a lot of people as they grow older, but I think it's that nerve cluster near the base, that lower back pain or whatever, that sciatica. I think there's something to do with that, right? As we grow older, we become kind of, we try to numb it, but it's still there, right? So we have to actually embrace that root chakra energy to make lots more money, right? To be grounded in this physical world, to feel secure in ourselves and not feel so insecure in ourselves. A lot of other benefits. Gaze upon the rays emanating from luminous sources. Be smart about this one, right? Don't just stare directly at the sun. That's why I have sunglasses, bro. All right. Engage in specific postures and gestures. I mean, isn't this yoga? It's just, different asanas, meaning different states of consciousness. Sit unevenly with one side elevated and relax your limbs. This is what I'm doing already, bro. This is my natural way of sitting. So I don't know if this is, is just a way to release the body tension. Sway your body rhythmically. Okay. Let's try that one. Everyone try these. Okay. Let's get it. Let's hack this. Now let's do it with this mudra. You know what? I was talking about this yesterday, how we discovered this kind of app for spirit communication. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. I asked it the other day, bro, and it was like, it said something like rhythm chat. That's what it said. I asked it, who is in my space right now? I was like, rhythm chat is here. Okay, so it said that, so it's clearly, it knows memes, it knows culture, whatever spirit was in my space yesterday. And I think it was a feminine energy that I might have picked up from Costa Rica, but I've yet to really explore that, what's going on with that. Because there's a lot of mariposa and like Spanish words coming up randomly. Anyway, it's clearly a Latina energy, okay, of the spirit, whatever it was. Anyway, let's go back to this. Visualize existence as a magical display. Free your mind from all anchors. Stare at something without blinking. Okay, let's try that. Have you blinked yet? I haven't. Let me cheat. Wow. More difficult than it looks, guys. This is what I used to do when I would like try to fake tears for theater. I used to just keep my eyes open like this, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, I feel like blinking now. I'm not gonna hold that. Anyway, cool, guys. Cool, cool. Gaze into the depths of a well. Wow. Okay, we're not gonna find a well at this time, right? In this heat wave. If there was a well, that'd be a blessing in disguise, right? Right now, I just jump in. I'm not saying that, but I'm definitely gonna take another shower today. Jeez, Louise. Okay. The heat is excruciating here. When the mind is calm, enlightenment is near. Focus on the vast outer space. Continuously chant. Oh yeah, this is the one that we said, right? Let's see. The last one. Knowledge unveils everything. Recognize the observer and the observed as one. Hmm. Be silent. Know that I am God. Okay. Silence. Not in the chatter of the mind. In the silence. Okay. I exist. This belongs to me. Okay. Reflect in the unchangeable self. How can knowledge or activity exist? The external world relies on knowledge, making it void. Ah, the external world relies on our knowledge, right? It's kind of just an expanse, it's an extra, it's like a substrate of the mind, right? Because everything is mind. It's first in our consciousness, and then we started to, we started off in forest, then agriculture happened, we moved to bigger cities, and so as our consciousness evolved, our landscapes also evolved. So we are our environments pushed out right now. We are that understanding, as James Allen said or whatever in that book. As a man thinketh, we are that. I mean, really think about it. Your environment is you. Like the observed, the observer and the observed are one. Okay, observed, the observer and the observed are one. That's very deep, actually. That concept goes into double slit experiment, right? So much we could talk about there, but I'm not going to bring that up right now. Let's see here. Anybody have any? It's kind of trippy watching myself right now. Anybody have any comments? Okay, two people watching though. All right, let's get it. Oh, with eyes shut, concentrate on the internal darkness. That's a really good one. Huh? Wow. I'm already feeling blissed out, man, reading through all of this. I'm just feeling like a huge, like a vortex of energy. You know what I did this morning, guys? I did the instant charisma thing again. So right, cleaning this up. This Qigong exercise is very powerful for just, raising the frequency, raising the charisma. So I was doing that this morning as I woke up. I knew today was a 2-2 day, right? A 22 day. So I knew I couldn't be kickboxing today in the morning. I just knew it. My energy would dip. And I was right. And my body told me, heaven, no. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to my female deities and guide them today to this International Seed Day or whatever. And also, there's a full moon tomorrow. So we might as well, I might as well use today to prep for that and yeah, make it very, you know, uh, connected for me as an experience. Like I want to use that full moon to fully transform and step into my newer self because I always do that. Every single full moon, I transform, as you guys know. And yeah, man, I'm really excited for that too. So this was a very interesting topic. I highly recommend you get that book. Okay, look through it yourself, apply these techniques. Maybe what you can do is you can put them all on flashcards and you can make them like little cards, like oracle cards, tarot deck type thing, or playing cards, and you can just shuffle them. And then when you sit down for your meditation, you pull one of the 112 cards, and then you only focus on that one technique. You only focus like if you're doing the peacock feather one, do the peacock feather one. Right? If you're only imagining your body like your right foot burning and your entire body burning from your right foot, do that one. Okay. If you're going to imagine your whole entire body as a hollow vessel, do that one. Okay. So just like that, you would just shuffle the cards, random card, and then do that. Right. That's how I keep the variety alive because that's one of my core needs. One of your core needs might be variety. So you do the same one over and over again. That's not going to work for me. I know myself too well to know that I cannot do it the same way. over again. It's got to change in some way, right? Even when I'm at the gym, I tell my trainer, let me switch it up, bruh. You know, like I'm trying to get these muscles. What about these ones? You know, I tell him because that's what I want. That's what I want to lean into. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to do the same old movements over and over again. Like I would, and I have done it before. Don't think I'm not a driller. Okay. Drillers create killers. Okay. So think about it, bro. You have to drill. You got to drill. You got to have that mentality of drilling, of just going through the consistency of it. It doesn't even matter. Why? Because you're tapping into source energy, baby. That's limitless energy. Okay. You're changing your breath. You're getting that breath debt. Okay. And you're shining, baby. Right. Think about it. You have extra energy at your reservoir now with that by lengthening your breathing. You've heard of the Buteyko breathing technique that I once taught on this channel. Okay. Very simple Buteyko breathing. It's just you take an inhale and an exhale. And whenever you get this feeling of air hunger coming up, which is like this feeling of wanting to go, right? Inhale again. That's when you breathe in and out normally again through the nose. So let's do it. So it would be inhale, exhale, and then you hold. Hold the breath. As we learned in this technique, focus on the silence between this breath. And then when you feel like breathing in and out again, you do it again and hold. This is Buteyko breathing, okay? And you can do this by, setting a 1 minute, 2 minute timer. Start out like this, very easy, okay? But you will get this very deep way to tap into the flow state. This is what I also have been teaching for many years, okay? This is my magnum opus, my greatest gift that I have to give to the planet is this pleasure alchemy, this flow state mastery that I'm gifting you guys, okay? With each and every lesson and each and every day, it keeps expanding on itself and it keeps stacking from different chambers of information that are coming through the different deities that we work with at Primal Sutra, but also our own individual collected knowledge through our own meditations and our own connections to source energy, right? It's interesting to see other people's downloads are matching with mine along this path. It's very interesting, right? We have this kind of cosmic echo that we can all echolocate with each other, right? With our third eyes pineals beaming, beam me up, Scotty. Okay, let's get it because that's the energy, bro. Like, who is going to deny this powerful energy that's flowing through each of our veins right now? This I core, this God fidence that is within each of us. Who is going to deny that, right? And who's even going to stop it? A lot of people think they're the chosen ones. I'm chosen because I chose to be. I don't need anybody choosing me to, make me a part of any journey, actually. I'm going to choose. I'm going to be the chooser because I'm the conscious one. I'm going to be the cause of my life. I'm not going to only be an effect, but also, as AZD said, God is in control. You know what I mean? So, hey, I understand that too. I'm not trying to gain full control of this thing. I'm not at the wheel anymore. I'm letting God at the wheel. And that's a different experience, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. You remain grateful, humble, high vibrational. Oof, it's a good energy to be in. The other energy is just dense and low and depressing, Oof. I can only do it this one way. Only you are my only hope. Luke, you are my only hope. That's the energy, right? Of that lower conscious energy where emotions are drowning you. You've got to take control of your emotions, not in a way where you're trying to dominate over them, but you want to have a good rapport with them. You want to have a good relationship with your own emotional body, right? And the way you heal your emotional body is you allow yourself to feel. You allow yourself to feel understood. You allow yourself to feel heard. You allow yourself to be mindful in situations and learn from different mistakes. When you've made mistakes, you rectify it, right? I mean, amazing people, they learn from their mistakes. Even more genius people, they learn from other people's mistakes and they don't make those mistakes, right? So come on now, let's work not just harder, but smarter in this thing. We are peak performance shamans. We are these cosmic spiritual hackers. We can go into the source. We can go into the astral, get some information, get that piece of information. We don't need a book. We don't need a, some kind of a degree to back up what we're saying, bro. Even though I have a degree and a master's, that doesn't take away from my own spiritual knowledge, downloads, information that's flowing through me. And I give myself this free channel, this source, right? This YouTube channel. As a channeler myself, I understand that I got to let this information out and flow properly, not improperly. This is probably Hermes energy, guys, as you hear me just spitting flames like this. Okay, let's get it. I'm feeling the energy of the 2-2 energy today. Okay, a lot of feminine healing going on, a lot of, Shakti energy flowing through me right now. I'm sensing it's good, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be connected to all of you. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever it is that you're tuning in from, man. Give this video a like, a thumbs up, okay? Share it with a friend. Get them on this journey. Get them to join the Telegram group, man. Get them to join all of these channelings. Get them to be a part of this journey. Have them peer over the edge with you so you guys can aim together at the direction of what you truly prefer and want, okay? You want the spirit team on your side. We're all gifted. We're aiming at the target, okay? Eyes on the prize, baby. The third eye's on the prize, baby. The third eye's on the prize, baby. Let's go. They can't take us. We're unstoppable. We're the upward spiral gang. Tell them in the back so they can hear. Okay, let's get it. This is not a televised event, even though this will probably be on television one day, because this knowledge is way too true to even ignore. I am Uncle Makara spitting at you live here from Kolkata, India. If you ever feel an urge to join our adepts program, our mystery school, shoot me a message right now, bruh or chica. Let's get you on. Okay, we have a research positions as well, man. We got scholarship. Let's go. Okay, let's go. When the student is ready, the master will appear. And so I have returned. Let's get it.